We're at North High School where tonight the Sheboygan North Golden Raiders take on the Ashwaubenon Jaguars in a game that is very important for Ashwaubenon, Chris. Not so much so for Sheboygan North. Ashwaubenon by the way, I'm Mike Martin. Joining me is the coach, Chris Wright. Ashwaubenon comes in 3-4 with a couple of wins, Chris. They can put themselves into playoff position.
Yeah, Marty, but I was just thinking about today and looking at the sideline. This isn't your parents' Ashwaubenon team. Ashwaubenon used to be just a power in Division II, and now they see themselves kind of in the middle of the league a little bit. You know, they had some close wins. I was looking, they beat Manitowoc just 13-10, and that's a team North a week ago hung right in there with. So, you know, as much as there's a lot for Ashwaubenon to play with, I think there's a lot for North to play for here on homecoming.
When I look at the conference stats, there aren't many Ashwaubenon kids in the mix.
No.
Nobody in the top 5 or 6 in rushing, where Turner Kraus for North is listed up there, at least in scoring, pardon me, not in rushing. In rushing, North has Preston Schetzer, who's right up there. He ranks 4th in the league. So you're right. They don't have the studs like we've seen from some of the other teams through the course of this season.
Right. If there's anything that there's a little bit better at, they do throw the ball. They seem to a little bit more and a little successful at. If you haven't figured it out by your TV screen right now, that might be a little difficult as we have a solid mist out here, and they anticipate big rain later, but hopefully after 10 o'clock when you and I are done cleaning as well.
Yeah, right, exactly. It'll be a chore putting all this wet equipment away. But North comes in 0-7, but they've played better, Chris. And when you look at the stats and that, especially when you compare it to last year, they're a better football team.
They are a better football team, especially offensively. They've kind of figured it out a little bit. They, you know, not only Preston Schetzer, but Isaiah Love-Beringer found a lot of success on the ground last week, and they seem to be pushing people around a little bit with that. I wish they could open it up a little bit throwing the ball, but again, that's going to be a struggle tonight. Where North struggles the most, though, however, is on defense, and they've given up in 7 games 2,593 yards, which let's just round that pickle up. It's 2,600 yards, and that's a lot of yards. And for North to have success and win on homecoming, they've got to stop their opponents, the Jaguars.
One of the things that we've been talking about for the last 3 or 4 years is the fact that, and you mentioned it too, North always seems to have some good skill players, some speed in the backfield, but the defense just doesn't shut anybody down, and until you get that fixed, you're never going to have the kind of success you'd like.
Yeah, and they're very young too, Marty. North, especially their up front guys, you know, hopefully, you know, a season, again, another season, we seem to always say that, but another season in the weight room and getting a little bigger, a little stronger will help there. And there's a lot of pride by the seniors that they do have, though, and you know, they would like to come out with a win, and tonight's kind of one of those goofy nights. You never know what's going to happen. You know, turnovers are obviously going to play a little bit, holding on to the football. You know, slipping and sliding is going to be an issue. So, again, you know, hopefully the defense can step up just enough to win. Last week, a tough 44-34 loss, so.
Do a shout out to head coach Joe O'Brien for the last several weeks that we've been over here. He's been kind enough to provide us with up-to-date stats for the North Eye team, and we appreciate that. That helps us in broadcasting the games. Preston Schetzer leads all rushers for North with 504 yards and exactly 100 carries. So he's got a good average, you know, 5 yards a carry. Turner Kraus, the quarterback running the option, is averaging over 4 yards a carry. And then Isaiah Love-Beringer had a big game last week, rushed for over 100 yards. He's averaging 6 yards a carry, Chris.
Yeah, and again, that's something, especially in a day like today where it's going to be rotten. Hopefully, you know, you try to control the ball, and I don't know, you say it quite a bit, but sometimes your best offense is your defense. Well, for North, it might be having your offense will be your best defense, because maybe they can keep the ball a little longer and not let Ashwaubenon out on the field and, you know, try to run with it and get, you know, the score.
We talked about the rushing game being pretty robust for North. The passing game is anything but robust. Turner Kraus only completing 11 passes in 43 attempts.
That's crazy, and especially today's football. You know, back in the old days, people used to run all the time. They never passed it, but That's not 2018. That's really strange.
Exactly. We're going to step out. When we come back, we'll have the national anthem and the kickoff for tonight's homecoming football game here at Urban Field.
My motto, safety first.
They could be dangerous. I think we should call animal control.
Animal control.
To be safe.
Don't worry.
Just...
I got this. It's a new motto.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you. When you throw away money on wasted electricity, you're throwing away everything you could have bought with it. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at energysavers.gov.
They said a bottle was just a bottle. That no one would ever notice me. But I knew I could be more. That one day, I would make people smile.
Sheboygan North marching band giving us that performance of the national anthem. Good job by those kids.
Yeah, very nice job. But you know what they forgot, Marty? They forgot to play "Happy Birthday to You."
Oh,
Since it is your birthday, and
keep it under your hat, man.
we even got a card here and everything that gets lit up and everything.
Couple of balloons. Chris wants one of the
Snickers bars.
Snickers bars.
Yep. Yeah, Jane's here and everything. It gets lit up. 70 years old, Marty. I would never have thought of that. You keep
How
yourself
old?
in great shape, I'll
How
tell you
old?
that.
70? No way.
Crazy. It's just crazy how it all works here.
Compliments of my lovely wife.
Yeah, very nice.
See you later, guys. See you, Allison.
Allison came up here too.
We actually had some introductions of starters tonight, Chris. Don't get that very often.
No, that was always a pretty big deal, I thought, when your name was announced and things. I know they do that over at KLC sometimes, but now it's like, oh, let's get introduced by a team. But
yeah, team.
you know, you do it in
There you see the
basketball.
North Eye Raiders coming out as a team. Yeah, basketball they do it.
Just a miserable night for homecoming. Don't have the Mantua radio crew next to us, so it's just you and me here.
Right, yeah. Be kind of lonely to keep each other company. They ought to take the filter off the screen, don't you think, Chris?
Yeah,
Might be a little clearer.
I know Richard was working on it up there. It's tough. It's bad. I mean,
Hey, remember that Chicago Bear game when they played in the fog years ago?
Eagles.
That was pretty awesome, actually.
Yeah, and as it was raining and stuff today, I kind of thought about us when we did our Lakeland game when it was miserably.
Oh, that one year you mean, when we were across the way?
Yeah, we have mentioned that before over the years.
I think I kept stats for 2 plays.
We were not even in a booth. The booth, what we couldn't get to the booth because it was so wet. We had to sit in the
Yeah, because the
visitors.
ground was too soft. Couldn't put
Yeah.
the truck on that side.
Yeah, we were in the visitors
Bleachers.
yeah, section, and like at that time they only had like 3 rows.
I think well, I think they upgraded to 4 now.
Well, they got a nice facility out there.
But they still had plenty for Concordia of Illinois last week when we were there. By the way, this is our second last game of the season. Our last game will be at Lakeland College next Saturday when they host Rockford University. Tomorrow, by the way, a good game. If you're not doing anything, drive down to Concordia of Mequon. Lakeland plays down there in a big rivalry game.
I know Concordia has their family weekend there. Things down at Concordia as well.
Carter Bell approaching, kicks it off, not deep, taken at about the 20-yard line.
Uh-oh.
And a return man, Sudinsky, gets it out near the 50-yard line before he's finally taken down. That tackle made by Braden Anderson. Sudinsky in about 30 yards on that very short kick. Chris, they're going to be in great shape.
Well, I think we'll see right off the bat here, Marty, just how important it is that North is ready to come here and play.
Got to do it on the defense.
Yeah, we'll see if they, you know, we didn't even mention it in our opening about homecoming being a distraction. Let's see if they've come ready to show up and play.
Inside handoff. Maldonado on the carry. Maldonado picked up about 3 yards, so a pretty good defensive stand on that particular play. Dawson Dembrowski at quarterback for the Jags. A quick out, nice pass. His man out of the backfield, Camden Wheeler, takes that ball and runs
Flag
it for
though,
a first down.
Marty, there is a flag down. I would say
Okay.
illegal shift. No, not a flag down. No flag down. Boy, I could have sworn I saw a flag down about the 50. I guess nothing.
It's about an 8-yard pickup on that play. Maldonado, inside handoff again. Picks up a little bit of blocking and picks up about 5 yards.
Yeah, nothing fancy there, just trying to shove the Raiders away. Be very shocked to see if a lot of teams try to throw today in this.
Sam Nguyen, number 15, is the wingback on the left side. Quarterback keeper, and running for the first down is Stephen Vang.
That's Caden Vang is our quarterback.
Caden Vang, he's not 25, he's number 16.
Well, there you go, right off the bat.
Picked up about 10 yards on that play. First down, ball on the 23-yard line.
Oh boy.
Quick slant pattern to his wide receiver, and running it in for the touchdown was Luke Schrader. That was way too easy, Chris.
Wow.
23-yard completion for a touchdown.
Well, it took us a minute 45 to figure out just where North is. And here's the replay. Just a simple drop.
The guy at the bottom of your screen is going to score the touchdown.
Yep, just a little
Cross
in.
Yeah, there he is.
You only have
Wide
one safety help, and in this slippery stuff, Anderson can't get to him. How far was that one?
23 yards. Extra point is also good. Makes it 7-0, Ashwaubenon. Wow. I tell you, Caden Vang's got a nice arm, Chris.
Yeah, well, like I said, we're not going to throw much, but the one thing about throwing is if, because it's so slippery, your defensive backs and that could fall down, but that was not the case.
So
Boy,
you think the advantage runs with the offense, right? Because they know where they're going?
yeah. Boy, does it seem like there's not a lot of kids on the north sideline tonight?
You are absolutely right. Good
Wow,
observation.
5, 7, 8. Where's all their players?
Milwaukee a winner, 4-0.
Yepper. Where are their players? Now, I know they don't have a large roster, but good grief.
A lot of times for the varsity games, not that they're going to play because you're limited on the number of quarters you can play in high school football, but they're on the sideline providing a little moral support and
Yeah, but there's
in uniform, but
there's
not
40
tonight.
on the roster, and it looks like we got about 22 that are
Short
left.
kick, and it goes.
Out of
I think it's
bounds.
kicked out of bounds. That might be the position where North gets it back near
Yeah,
the 20-yard line.
Love Beringer did not hold on to it.
Actually, I think that's going to be inside the 20.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, that's what I say. Oh, boy. Not good enough. First and 10 for North. Ball on the 17-yard line. Schetzer in the backfield with Kraus. Kraus ducks under center. Inside handoff.
Love Beringer.
Beringer on the carry picks about 3 yards.
He's a junior.
Second down for the Raiders.
I count like 26, 27
On the sideline.
dressed players.
That's not a lot.
Twice.
Whistle prior to the snap, and we got offside on North. Lining up offside. It's going to be a 5-yard penalty. It's going to make it second down and 12.
Oh, I see they have their tight end back. Ben Vorpal's back in there. That's good.
Yeah, Vorpal didn't play a whole lot last week, if at all.
No.
But he did walk out with Mom and Dad during the pregame Parents' Day introductions.
Former coach Carl Nienhuis just walked through, going upstairs. He had a very strong offensive mind for football.
Yeah.
Very creative.
Yep. Love Beringer again on the carry.
Also, Carl helped out on coach's freshman baseball here. Another love of his.
It's going to be third down and 6. North not much for passing. They'll run the ball and run the ball and run the ball some more. See what they do here. Little movement inside, but the back got set, so it does count. And Anderson on the carry gets hit just short of the 30-yard line, but I think that's enough for a first down.
I agree with you. Nice play there. Little misdirection. Oh, Carl's here now. I just said, what a great offensive mind you were for football. I said, yeah, very creative, and I said, you're helping out here, stopping down
They're
here.
trying to get him over to the Salvation Army to help his wife serve the meal.
Just, I said, Carl's very, like I said, very
Knowledgeable.
for his offensive schemes that he had here a few years ago.
Nice catch by the running back, but nothing doing. Ashwaubenon had that scoped out. Hit Beringer for a loss.
No, you had a few years as offensive coordinator too, right? How many years that? Okay. Yeah, a couple years.
Football or baseball?
Uh-oh. Football or baseball? I was just asked Marty.
Football, no doubt about it.
Yeah. But as I mentioned, we'll say something after this play, Marty, about
All
him.
right, we got a 2nd down and 12 after Love Beringer was hit for the loss. Inside handoff and not going very far was the North running back. Love Beringer again.
Another thing Coach brings to the table is, like I said, he coached freshmen. He's very positive and very strong into the fitness center and lifting and getting kids to maximize their potential with that. You just got to get more kids interested in it and more, with the numbers there. But
how come there aren't very many kids on the sideline tonight? Right.
I don't know why they didn't tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, Carl's not certain about the answer to
3rd
that
and
question
10.
either.
Fake Kraus on the short throw is incomplete.
Again, another good play there, trying to drag your receivers back over the midfield and then take your back out of the side there. But in this weather condition, thanks, Coach.
Yeah, take care, Carl. Chris, I'm going to challenge you on that play. Because he never, even if he'd have caught it, he would have been hit right away. He wouldn't have been even close to the 1st down.
Yeah, I think he's hoping to get something, break
well,
something.
Right, yeah.
But
what's the initials for that? YAC, yards after catch.
Yeah, Yak. Yeah.
Yak. Good snap. Kick is away.
And away from the returner.
Yeah, and he's going to not pick it up.
Pick it up. Did he touch it?
They're going to say it's Ashwaubenon on ball. But a fine kick and a roll goes all the way down to the 26-yard line.
I want to see that one again. Here it is. Let's see if he hit it.
Okay, there's at the 29-yard line.
Now let's watch here. Good camera work there. Oh, I think it did hit him in the arm or the leg.
That was about over a 40-yard punt.
21.
I think it was at the 26 or 29.
Yep, 29.
A running back running through a big hole, and he got hit pretty hard by a couple of North Raiders, one of them being Everett Streen, but he still was able to fall forward. Maldonado on the carry picks up 4. Well, the hole was there, Chris. And you get those line guys getting some penetration. Bang. Inside
there you
handoff.
Go. Much
the
better.
running back got pushed back right at the 30-yard line. It's going to be for no gain.
Everett Streen again and Gino Gasper.
I mentioned this last week. I had a chance to say hello to Everett. He's a good defensive player. Wide to this side is Sam Nguyen. Quick out. Running back missed two missed tackles, and he barrels forward up to the 40 for the 1st down. Ay, ay, ay. 8-yard pickup.
The coaches put him in a position to be successful. The kids just have to make the play there, Marty. It's a simple thing. I mean, he's right out there.
Check the head of the tackler. See if he puts his head down.
You're right there. Yeah, he went right past.
And the other guys.
Streen missed. I mean, it's just a double.
And they go on to another play, a sweep play. Maldonado picks up a 1st down. He gets it down inside of North Territory near the 44-yard line. That's a 16-yard run.
Could have got off the field there. 2 chances to nail him there on 3rd down.
There's a little drill we used to do in football. It's called a breakdown drill, you know, where you just kind of set. And both tacklers had a chance at making the stop, and neither of them broke down. They're all too tall. You got to get down in a lower, get your center of gravity down.
Yep.
Keep your head up. Schwabenon on the move. Inside handoff.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy, that guy's a bull. Camden Wheeler, 215, 6'1" senior.
Ashwaubenon averaging just 17 points a game on the season, which isn't a lot. Already marching
Preston
down for their
Anderson
second
is
score.
wide to the right, Chris. See if they throw it out his way. He's all alone on an island. Inside handoff to Maldonado. Stutter steps through the line. Inside the 30. Picks up
Fell on the
about 7.
tackle, right in the muddiest part of the field.
Yeah.
We'll see what that looks like in
At the end.
an hour.
Although the grass was pretty lush through most of the season, Chris, so I think it'll hold up.
Yeah, they have one more game here next week, too. 3 games in a row at home to finish.
Maybe North will have to move their game out to Lakeland if it gets too torn up this week.
Just the opposite of last year.
Yes.
2 years ago, excuse me.
Lakeland owes North a couple of games. I think they played 2 or 3 games here. Deep pass by Yang. He got his man, Anderson, and he's taken down inside the 10-yard line, I believe it is.
I think that was Kyle Kruger, Marty, number 88.
88.
The 6'3", 200, or excuse me, 190-pound sophomore. And
That was
he
a
did-
22-yard pickup, Chris.
Kraus had to make the tackle.
And
Good grief.
Caden Vang is 4 for 4 passing so far tonight. He takes it on a sweep left, avoids one tackler and falls into the end zone. Touchdown. Student body left, Chris. Oh, you're going to see it again. See if we get some pulling linemen leading the way. He's got that trio of receivers. Nobody
Nope.
pulls.
Well,
But he
just a
does pick-
fullback kick out and
Yeah.
into that hole.
Ay, ay, ay. Bad snap, and kick is going to be no good. But with 3:45 left in the first quarter, Ashwaubenon up 13-0.
Food. It nourishes, brings us together, and adds flavor to life. That's why it's important to wash hands, surfaces, and fresh produce. Keep raw meat, poultry, and seafood separate from ready-to-eat foods like fruits and vegetables. And cook to proper temperatures using a food thermometer. Enjoy, and refrigerate leftovers within 2 hours. For more tips on safely preparing foods, visit Home Food Safe.
Oh, sweetheart. Gonna give you a hand?
No thanks, Dad. I got it.
Okay. I'm gonna go fix the lamp in your room.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of children in foster care who will take your
Sam Locken on the kick, taken at the 22-yard line by North. Love Behringer on the return. Gets it out over the 35-yard line, so North is going to have it in pretty good field position.
Well, they're going to have to score, Marty.
Yeah, they got to get some touch. Dooley Scheffner is the wide out to the right. Inside handoff. And nothing doing for the Love Behringer again. Nothing doing for him. Looked a little dangerous, Chris, on the handoff. Kraus didn't give it away until way at the end.
Well, and the slipperiness, too, with the miss, it's going to be very difficult for him.
Turner Kraus back into the huddle late.
There's no doubt that Ashwaubenon watched film on North last week, and they know that number 28 had a pretty good game last Friday, so I'm sure they're going to be keying in on Isaiah tonight. Oh boy.
Whistle prior to the snap. Offside on North again. Second time tonight.
On offense.
Yes. Not even lining up properly. They always told us when you come to the line, kind of look down at the ball, make sure you're behind it. Behind the ball.
Yeah, but you're a back, so you got an advantage.
Oh, the late pitch and a fumble, and North is not going to get it. Ashwaubenon's going to score. Picking it up and running it in for the Jaguars was Evan Vanden Elzen. Oh, man. Whew.
Here's the replay. Anderson going one way.
Fake up the middle. No, it's an option. Bad pass, bad chip, or pitch, I mean.
Yep, tried to get it to Carter Bell.
And another touchdown for the Jags.
Oh, they bobbled the snap.
Another one. Should have just been happy kicking the ball.
Well, they tried. Went right through his hands.
All righty. 2:37 left, and it's 19-0 Ashwaubenon. Their scoring average may go up after this game.
Well, it was 17. Bobbled the snap.
Another one.
They were averaging 17. They're over that, and it only took them 9.5 minutes.
Yeah, right. Chris is going to do the basketball scheduling for this year.
And I have a minute.
So if you have any complaints, and Chris wants a minute. That'll happen just before we start the second half, Robert. So with about when that last 3 minutes comes on the clock, come back and Chris will do his thing, and then we'll give some halftime stats and do the second half. Ooh, some good hitting going on out there, Chris. North gets it up to about the 34-yard line. That's where they'll start this drive. Love Beringer again on the return.
Boy, when you only have about 27 kids, you got to be playing everything.
Exactly.
26, 27
yeah,
kids.
A lot of two-way players.
And punt team, kickoff return, extra point duty.
Artie Socek, I think, was on my sophomore year. He was a senior. He was on every team. He never walked off the field.
You know, it's weird at that time, too, is, you know, they talk about two-way players, but I don't remember getting tired and things, you know.
Not like that, no.
No, I played.
The timing system was a little different. I mean, you know, you still played, whatever it is, 12 minutes or something, but the way they stopped and started the clock was a little different.
Yep.
I was only on offense and the special teams. I didn't have to play defense, but we had a bunch of guys on our team that went both ways.
Yeah.
And they were all conference both ways. They're good players. You didn't want to take them off the field.
I know a few years back here is no gain there for Love Beringer is that I know they tried to get a system here about 10 years ago where kids just played one way, but
it
just wasn't enough players and kids for it. I mean, you would prefer it. You'd love to have it. You know what you would like to have is, you know, have them play two ways, but every once in a while situational. where
Right.
you could bring in an offensive line that could play.
Or maybe for one series,
Yeah.
they stay off the field, whether it's offense or defense, just to give them a little bit of a break.
Yep.
And that's a good way to get players that aren't on as often in there. Okay, we got a third down and about 7. A man in motion, Love Beringer, was hitting the backfield. Stutter steps, trying to get to the outside.
Good
and
effort.
Did, but he's going to be stopped at the 40-yard line. Carter Bell was the man in motion.
Well, Ashwaubenon had about 8 in the box, and then they sent the 9th guy blitzing to take away the run.
Yeah, a little too much to contend with.
Too many white shirts.
4th down. Riley Sudzinski, number 3, is back deep to return the punt. He's the guy that may have touched it last time, but referees didn't see it that way. Kick is away.
Not as
out of
good a
bounds.
punt this
No.
time. 45 last time. Not that much this time. Oh, boy. Yep.
He was the punter.
Yep.
Pokorzinski.
Yep. We got 11 and 4. Oh, boy. 15 yards on that one.
Sheepers.
So from a 45 to back to a 30-yard average.
Hey, Chris, what does this mean when the guy's signaling the kind of penalty?
I don't know. Get out of my way. I didn't. Not sure. Last play probably of the quarter, Marty.
Yeah, see, I was looking at that too. 13 seconds left. Schwabenon doesn't throw a whole lot. They're 4 for 4 in the quarter. Inside handoff. And getting back to the line of scrimmage was Camden Wheeler. And that's going to be it. We'll be right back with quarter number 2.
You make me wear my bike helmet. You taught me never to run with scissors. And to follow the swimming rules.
You tell me to stay away from drugs.
To always buckle my seatbelt.
So why do you keep a loaded gun in your drawer?
How safe is that?
You asked them to follow some safety rules. Now they're asking you. In fact, they're counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. Remember, always lock it up. Visit ncpc.org.
Traditional light bulbs actually generate 9 times more heat than light. Switch to Energy Star light bulbs, and you'll realize just how much cash you are really burning through. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at energysavers.gov.
All right, here we go. Second quarter action. About 2nd and 10. Nice pass and completion again by Ashwaubenon. And slipping by a couple of tacklers was Luke Schrader. Boy, oh boy. They're getting a lot of mileage off of those short passes, Chris.
Well, and I said that they're not going to throw much in the rain, but the kid's perfect.
Yeah, exactly. He was 4 for 4 for 61 yards in the first quarter. It was Maldonado on the run again, and he picks up about 5, maybe 6 yards.
A.J. Vogel on the stop.
Second and about 5. Fake handoff. Vang keeps it and gets down near the 30. He's going to be a little short of the first down.
Cassius Rodafox made that stop. We mentioned his name a bunch of times last week. Big number 74. Just a junior. Lots of juniors on this North team.
That could be a good thing. Hopefully they'll all come back next year. Experience means a lot. Vang rolling, pumps and stops, and then pumps and throws.
There you go. I
and
jinxed
he's
him.
Got his receiver again for a first down.
I mentioned that he was perfect coming in to that pass play and finally threw an incompletion.
No, that was complete, Chris.
Oh, it was complete. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Giving him the completion.
It's twice I've messed up tonight.
Yeah, it's hard to see out there. A little reverse action with the ball as Schrader slips around one tackler and then he's knocked out of bounds near the marker.
Well, Schrader's been watching the NFL. Watch him use his stiff arm here. He's going to just take care of that kid from North.
Get a good block on the edge.
Watch his stiff arm. Whoop.
Again, bad tackling position by the defender.
Ryan Heinzman there got hit on the stiff arm and the missed tackle
Nate
earlier.
Tate on the block on the wing, number 72, opened up the hole for Schrader.
Timeout, Ashwaubenon.
10:21 left until halftime. Ashwaubenon has a second down and 2 play. And they're on the move. They've been pretty much unstoppable so far, Chris.
Yep. Bayport.
Got a quarter?
Ashwaubenon back from a timeout. In the backfield is Camden Wheeler, number 6. He's a big guy. They pitch it out to him, looking to get the corner, and he's not going to get it. Making the stop out on the wing was Zane Tinkle. Also helping out was Kai Patrick.
That was a good tackle there.
Yeah, only a gain of 1. So it's going to be 3rd and 1. Maldonado's the deep back now. Fake handoff to him. Vang, the quarterback, keeps it. And he's going to get into the end zone for a touchdown. From 17 yards out, Vang faked it to Maldonado, kept it, and had a big opening and took it in.
Here you'll see it on replay. See what the tackle does to the end there.
Ooh, got a good block.
Yeah.
Was Camden Wheeler, number 6. Boy, he really opened the hole.
Well, because it's 25-0 and they can't seem to catch a break on the extra point, we're just going to go for 2.
Hand off to Maldonado, and he's in easily.
Well, as I was going to say before the break, Marty, Bayport stands alone in first place, 7-0. Preble got beat last week by Notre Dame, so they suffered their first loss. Going to go for 2.
Hand off to Maldonado, and he's in.
And Preble and Pulaski 6-1, Notre Dame 5-2, De Pere 4-3. Ashwaubenon, as Marty mentioned, needs to win 2 games.
You know what you can do on your computer? You can highlight it and cut and paste. Then you don't have to spend 10 minutes writing that all down on a postcard.
Well, it's just my little note cards.
By the way, you're going to see you on Tuesday?
Oh, yeah.
Good. Old Timers meeting on Tuesday. October 9th.
Well,
It's 27-0. North has not been playing well this half.
I think Ashwaubenon has South next week, Marty.
They do,
so
for
they-
sure. And that's
they-
why I was saying
Yep.
you know, that they definitely are looking at a playoff spot if they
Yep.
can win 2 more games. That kick goes out of bounds, so it's a penalty on Ashwaubenon. North should be getting it. First down at 35. Oh, they're getting it at the 40, Chris. So North in good shape now if they can mount the drive. Love Beringer is the lone setback. But Anderson on the wing to the right. Beringer on the carry. Gets a good push from his offensive line and picks up about 5 yards. Larry Van de Wiggy III, one of the lead blockers there. Let's take a look at that offensive line. Good push.
Very good push.
Yep, also down there making some blocks was Gage Oldenburg. Good job by those boys. Fake handoff. Kraus keeps it, and he's going to be taken down short of the first down. Picks up about 2.
Boy, I thought he was going to have a little bit more there, but Ashwaubenon quickly
Yeah, they look
closed out that wing.
pretty good lateral quickness. Lateral means side to side, fans. That was for you too, Chris.
I was hoping that.
We had about 3rd and 1 or a short 2, depending on your perspective. 2 wideouts to this side. You can see him at the bottom of your screen. Kraus keeps it, and he barrels through the line off left tackle, gets it down to about the 46-yard line. First down North. Not a lot of first downs for North so far. They've had trouble moving the ball. More importantly, they've had trouble stopping Ashwaubenon. Clock running with 7:50 left in the first half. It's homecoming here at North High. So you'll want to stick around at halftime for the entertainment, and then Chris will give Chris needs a minute perspective on something. Love Beringer breaks to the outside. He's running over people and gets taken down inside the 20-yard line.
Again, just a junior. Last couple of weeks, some big runs for Isaiah.
27-yard pickup.
Here you'll see it on replay, Marty.
Gets off left tackle, gets a nice little chip block there. And then he wants to hit somebody.
North on the move.
Isaiah Holtfeld's in the line, big number 77. Anderson in motion. Kraus keeps it, cuts it back. He's got an opening through the middle. Puts his head down. He's into the end zone. Touchdown. 19-yard touchdown run. Turner Kraus.
Willed himself in there. Looked like he was going to be taken down too, but again, the slippery field maybe to his advantage. He knew where to go. The defenders did not. Here you'll see it on a replay.
right there, that little cutback is what made the play.
Yeah, once he got to the D-backs.
Extra point is up and good. Close to being blocked, but North is on the board.
Minute and 6-second drive.
The offensive line play that drive was much better than it's been earlier.
Well, maybe a stop or a turnover, get some points on the board, pull within a
Chris,
couple scores.
let me take you back a couple of years. Remember when we would talk about, North not being very good, South was struggling too, and there wasn't much size on the team. North has got pretty good size in their offensive line.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, let's put it this way. Better than
it was,
been.
correct. But they still, I mean, if you look at other teams, how big they are, and, I think when this, just such a disadvantage, you got to get some bigger kids. I don't know where you're going to find them. I mean, just, maybe we just eat too healthy here. I don't know.
Yeah, really.
It's always kind of been that way.
Carter Bell on an onside kick. Oh, he's running the wrong way. But he gets around the corner, Ashton Steinke, and he gets it into North territory. That was a real nice return. Steinke gets it in North territory.
Nice hit there by Kuvu.
Just a little too much quickness. I thought they were going to get him back. He gave up about there's 5 yards, about 8 yards, but then he was able to get to the corner. Oof. Ball is spotted right at the 50-yard line. Vang, fake handoff, little reverse and a fumble.
Come on, boys. There was my break.
Yeah.
I just asked for that.
Wheeler came up with it. Boy, was that close to being lost, too.
Look at that hit there by Vu.
Yeah. Don't like to see those heads, get jarred back like that. Loss on the play. Gonna make it 2nd down and 11. Fang gives it off to Maldonado up the middle. He's running over everybody, his own players and North High players, and he's out of the pack. He's going. He's all the way down inside the 30. It's over 20 yards on that run.
Once again, Marty, you had a drive. Here you'll see it.
Here you see it. Runs into his own blockers, runs over a North guy. Slips a tackle there. 24-yard run. We're at the 27. Maldonado takes it again around the edge. He's got the corner. And he's taken down inside the 15-yard line.
More white shirts than blue shirts.
Yeah, that's for sure.
There's the last one play, but so it's going to mention here. Here's this play that you just saw in your.
A lot of blockers over there. They had those 3 wide receivers. And they're out there blocking too.
And they didn't miss.
Ball is spotted on the 12-yard line.
Defense doesn't need any help with a short field.
Wheeler in motion. Vang looking on an out pattern. He's got his man. Knocked out of bounds, but too late. Luke Jacobs on the catch and the score. Chris, that was a well-designed play.
Here it is.
One wide receiver took the defender out of the way, left Jacobs wide open.
Well, you had a chance on the previous drive to stop them on third down. It didn't happen.
And that extra point is blocked. The North High, the kid that blocked it, and I didn't catch the number, but he had a straight line to where the snap was going to be, or where the holder was, and was an easy block.
Yep, and here they put the ball on the carpet, and you just couldn't get it. And Sheboygan, 3 or 4 plays later, gets in there for another score. We still have 6 minutes left in the quarter. 33-7.
Yeah, not. Well, we mentioned it from the top. It's the defense that's been holding Sheboygan football back. North-South defense at times has shown to be pretty good. North has really struggled in that area. You know who we haven't seen return a kickoff is Shea.
Correct.
Quinton Shea. And he's in the conference.
He can
right
run.
up there for kickoff returns. Lock-in on the kick. Taken on the 20. Love. No, you know who that looked like? Schetzer.
I don't know why he ran right to the white jerseys.
Aren't you supposed to? Well, maybe he wanted to try and run over somebody.
I don't even see Shea on the sidelines this week, Marty.
Ah, he's pretty quick. He's down there. I see him, number 9.
Yeah, there he is. Yep.
Right by the 40-yard line.
Jeez. Yeah, he's a weapon.
I'd like to get him the ball in the open field. Love Behringer is in the backfield. Hand off to him. Picks up maybe 2 yards. Second and 8. Scheffner and Anderson a little late getting back to the huddle. A lot of wide receivers. This time they're off to the right. And Kraus wrestled down at about the 28-yard line. Oh boy, that hurt.
Yeah, and that took a little bit out of Turner there.
Yeah.
It took a big hit.
You know, he's constantly, when he's on offense, running to the sideline, getting the play and running back, and North doesn't send the plays in. Kraus goes to the sideline and gets the play from the coach. 3rd and 11. Anderson blocking, passes way off the mark. Intended receiver was Carter Bell. And it goes incomplete. 4:06 left in the first half.
Well, Schwabenon delivered a blow to Kraus there, but picked him back up.
Well, that makes it okay.
They knocked him
You
down.
think if Matthews would have picked up the guy he sacked, everything would have been okay?
It's funny how that now it's totally
Even
different.
I thought that was a sham.
Yep. Oops.
Oh, he missed it.
Oh,
he did get it.
He kicked it off the ground.
He kicked it off the ground. I thought he was after. Oh, never mind. No, short punt. 10 yards.
Well, it was a bad snap, and then.
Well, the pressure was there. You know, he probably took his eyes off the ball a little bit because he's going to get hit. He'll do a better job of blocking up front.
Well, a Schwabenon guy was right there to jump on it, and he just kicked it right past him.
lot of wide receivers for the Jaguars. Quick out. Making a catch was Wheeler, but he's hit immediately and dropped. Anderson making a stop.
There's a good open field tackle.
Got that right. Hey, Chris, Vang is 8 for 8. He hasn't thrown an incompletion yet. You know how we do that during basketball when the kids made all his free throws on the other team?
Yeah.
Ooh, nice hit. Vang is taken down at the line of scrimmage.
Vogel.
Making a stop. Vogel making a stop for North. Give Vang a loss of a yard on that play.
Under 3 minutes. Open for a stop here and get the ball back.
Wheeler, the wing on the right. Maldonado's the lone setback with Vang. Quick out, pass is caught again, but the wide receiver taken down right away. That was, I believe, Luke Jacobs.
Yeah, it's about a 14, 15-yard pass to the side, but it's not up the field, so it's going to force Ashwaubenon to punt, and Shea's back to receive it.
This could be exciting. Go back a little deeper, Quinton. It's always easier to come up on the ball. Good snap. The kick is away. Ooh, a deep one. And it might have died at the 1 yard line, Chris. Oh my. North is going to get it. Deep, deep, deep in their own territory. Ashton Steinke, I think, was the punter, number 4. That's a tough break.
Oh boy.
Ball is just outside the end zone. We'll call it the 1 yard line.
2 timeouts for Ashwaubenon. Sure they're going to be using them. Got to get out of this mess here. Don't want to give up a deuce.
Inside handoff to Love Behringer. He's not going to go far.
Here's our timeout by Ashwaubenon.
Good call, Chris. It's going to be 2nd down and 9. Stick around at halftime, folks. There'll be a lot of halftime entertainment with this being homecoming, one of which will be the North High Marching Band. Did a great rendition of the national anthem. And then you're going to want to stick around for Chris Needs a Minute. And we'll also give you some halftime stats before we start the second half of action. In the first quarter, Chris, I had Ashwaubenon with 58 yards rushing, 61 yards passing for a total of 119 yards. North had 20 yards rushing, no passing, and not much offense in that first quarter, and it's not much better here in the second quarter either.
Yeah, I don't think they've completed a pass.
They have not. You're right. They're blitzing. Inside handoff. Love Behringer again. Not much doing there. But he did get it a little farther. Give him another 2 yards. And another timeout, just like Chris said. And that is their last timeout.
Pushing towards the 5.
Yeah.
Isn't it something though when you're just basically at the 45-yard line, you're playing run defense, it's no big deal. But when you're inside that 2,
You
the
want
defense
that
just
safety.
smells it. It's like Like sharks in the water with blood. Oh, a little more incentive now to push them. Well, if North is smart here, they'll run the ball, and time will come off. So
By the time they punt it away, it'll be under a minute.
Should, and Schwabenau will have no timeouts, and they've had no luck on their kicking game.
Yeah, their kicking game has pretty much been non-existent.
So hopefully, get a little punt away and play a little bit of defense, and you can stop them.
All righty, it's 3rd down and about 6 or 7.
Oh, and North cheats.
Oh, another offside.
Motion on the slot receiver, Marty.
Our crew tonight, we have Robert Ingram as our director giving us those replays. On the top camera, we have Richard Bartson. And Caspian Bing was supposed to be on the field camera, but I don't think he's doing that. Caspian is probably in the truck helping with graphics. Caspian is a senior at South High. Thank him for coming over to the dark side to work the game with us. Chris Wright is the color. I'm the play-by-play guy, Mike Martin. Flag comes in late.
Oh, boy.
And it looks like that would be a holding on North.
Yep.
Stops the clock, 1:30 left.
You could only put North back to a half a yard. I would decline it if I'm at Schwabenau because you don't want them to run another play.
Yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly, and the clock is stopped because of the penalty. That's a smart way to do this. Declined.
Oh, boy. And then you get the... Like I said, you could stop the clock. That Schwabenau receiver is inside the 35 now.
That's pretty short. The other thing you got to worry about is they're not going to have their normal depth on their punter, and he's been rushed heavy. Look at the 3 guys on the left side of the defense. Pokorzinski gets it away. He's at the 40. Trying to spin, but is stopped right around the 30-yard line. Riley Sudinsky on the return. And another flag, Chris. Penalties are hot and heavy all of a sudden.
This one's on Schwabenau.
That'll move them back a little bit.
Oh, right there. Number 40. Dumb penalty, too, because it was after the play.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy was being tackled, and he just took a North kid and two-hand shiver to the back. And not very smart.
No. Chris, when your manhood is challenged, you got to stand up and be heard.
Well, the coach is going to have something to say to him in about 5 minutes.
How about 1:16?
Okay.
Bang back. So look to the right, throw it back to the left. He's got his receiver and breaking loose. Is that Wheeler? I don't think so. Maldonado.
Well, you called it, Marty. They sent all the receivers to the right. You fake over there. You get the flow of the safeties, and everybody coming this way. And you swing it back to your back. There you see on replay, you got your screen, and away you go.
Some good downfield blocking again. Streen trying to catch up to him, but couldn't. 43-yard screen pass for a touchdown, and it's going to try that extra point again, Chris. See if they can snap it, set it, and kick it. And they did everything except kick it through the crossbar.
And there was a penalty.
And they can't. You got to take that penalty because it happened before the play, before the ball was snapped. Boy, oh boy.
go, Marty.
It's good. All right. We did it, boys.
40-7.
At halftime.
Well,
Yeah,
North gets
not
the
even
ball to start
halftime
the
yet.
second half.
Yeah.
And remember the 35-point rule, which...
They're not quite there yet.
Nope.
Of course, if they could kick an extra point.
Yep, we'd have a solid running clock in the second half.
Yep.
Well, I know I'm crazy, Marty, but I thought this would be another competitive game. Just looking at the scores a little bit.
I'm with you. I was thinking the same thing.
North. I know you said something about the 3 wins, and I understand, you know, but I think they were on, you know.
Yeah, if you beat the 2 Sheboygan schools, they're in the playoffs. That's what worried me.
Yeah, and then, but I did not expect 40-7 at halftime, and.
Do you know offhand who they beat during the season?
I do. They beat Manitowoc 13-10.
That's right. Manitowoc.
Southwest 44-21.
Okay.
And they lost to Pulaski.
Anderson on the return, taken down at about the 25. Be 1st and 10 North. 57 seconds left.
I got them losing to Preble, Notre Dame, Bayport. What am I missing here? Manitowoc Southwest.
Manitowoc Southwest.
Oh, and I think they beat De Pere.
Yeah, that would be seem like a logical
15-8. They beat De Pere 15-8.
Good game.
Yeah. Oh no.
Short pass, incomplete.
I think it was deflected at the line of scrimmage. And the way it fluttered, it was heading right to a white shirt, but it was
What you could
so
say
short.
about Ashwaubenon is they've beaten the teams that they probably should have beaten.
Yep.
And the cream of the crop they're not hanging with. But, well, like I said, provides a little impetus for them to see these games as important. You know, it's a path to the playoffs. And I thought it'd be more competitive than this for sure, especially the way we saw North play against Manitowoc last week.
North calls timeout, Marty. They have 3.
Should be 3rd down though. Pass was incomplete. And now the run.
Yep, it's 3rd. Should be 3rd. And it's just changed, yep.
I suppose if they don't get the 1st down, they can just let the clock run out. You know, it's not like it's, but if you get the 1st down, you want to call maybe another timeout
Yep.
and see if you can get it down there.
Yep, if you don't get a 1st down here.
Heck, maybe we'll see Kraus to Kraus again.
We could go Friday. We could go today, excuse me.
That's what Robert should have done. Load that up in the truck so when we get a game like this, we have something to go back on and talk about. A little blitz action coming up the middle, but Kraus scrambling out of there, tries to cut it back, and he's got a 1st down outside the 40-yard line. Nice run.
Well, you have a 1st down here. You don't have to call timeout here, but they do. The clock already had stopped.
Well, the hurry-up offense is not something that they're real adept at doing. You call 2 plays at once? You can't remember the snap count. How in the world are you going to remember 2 plays? Unless it's the same play, maybe then.
Yep.
I'll tell you one thing we do have up here when it's a blowout, fun.
Yeah. Well, you know, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe, yeah, a number system, and have something on his hand, and he could just call the plays, or
Right.
for this only
Right.
under 2 minutes or something, or.
He's going to get his 10,000 steps in this game. Kraus back, flush from the pocket, tucks it in and runs. He's got room to roam. He's down inside the 40 and steps out of bounds at the 35-yard line.
Boy, it was strange how there was nobody over here for Ashwaubenon.
No.
And did the
23-yard run.
Did a good job there running out of bounds. Watch this. Where are the Jaguars?
Pretty good blocking up front.
Nobody over here.
Anderson and Scheffner are wide to the right. Love Behringer is the lone setback. Kraus under center.
No.
Inside
no,
handoff,
no.
and Kraus fumbles it but gets
No,
it back.
No. No.
And does North
Why?
call their last time out? Yes, they do.
Why are we? Why are we running, Marty? I don't want to be
Because they don't
critical,
pass.
but I am.
They don't pass much. That's
But
all I
you
can
gotta
say.
pass.
I
You
know.
gotta
I
pass
agree
there.
with you.
Incompletion stops the clock.
I wouldn't even mind a play action. Fake it up the middle and roll out, preferably to the right,
Yeah,
to
like
the
you-
left. Pardon me, because
like
he's
you-
a left-hander.
Yeah, you've done that a couple times. You know they're coming, and when you get him out of the pocket, he seems to be able to gain some positive yards that way. But, I mean, the running game is, if you were getting some 10, 15-yard runs before, I would maybe go with that, but you're not.
No, you're right.
And now you're done. You're out of timeouts. If you don't get something that's over 10 yards, it's halftime. I mean, it's
Got that right.
that wasn't the. I didn't understand that one. I don't understand that one at all.
Orpel is a tight end on the right side. We still have Anderson in the slot. Scheffner the wide out. Also adjusting in the backfield is Carter Bell, number 15. They tried to go to him on a wheel route. Was incomplete. Anderson makes the catch and he stays in bounds. Touchdown, Sheboygan North. What a throw by Turner Kraus. Under pressure, got it off.
Into triple coverage, mind you.
Yes.
Into triple coverage. Just wing it up there.
First completion of the half. Might as well make it for a touchdown.
Watch this, Marty. He throws it up there. It's batted. And because of the slippery turf, the safety falls down. North touchdown.
All righty. And still 14 seconds left. Extra point is hammered through by Bell.
Krause's 4th touchdown of the season.
35-yard touchdown play. For the first time ever, Chris, I may run out of lines on the scoring part.
Well, last week we had the 44 to 34, Marty.
Yeah, that was a lot of scoring that night, too. A little too much Manitowoc in the second half.
Yep.
Yeah, you'd still have to classify it as a blowout, but at least North showing a little life and getting an excellent drive here to in the first half. Score some points.
And they get the ball to start the third quarter.
Right. Way short. And the return man is taken down.
He should know that he should fair catch that.
Marty Kiernan. So there were 14 seconds left in the half, and there's still 14 seconds left after the kickoff. Did you catch the number of the kid who tackled him?
I think it was Preston Schetzer.
Way to go, Schetzer. Ball spotted on the 43-yard line. Bang with a handoff to Maldonado. He breaks right through the line, runs right over a North tackler, and he is on the loose.
And he's going to run out of time.
Yeah.
They only have 3 seconds left unless that Schwabadan can get up to the line of scrimmage.
Right.
He didn't get out of bounds, did he?
Yeah, I believe he did.
Ugh. I tell you, I can't see with this cloudy, foggy window I'm looking through here.
That's about a 35-yard run, Chris. Ay, ay, ay. I mean, there you see him.
Wow.
Tackled out of bounds. Clock is running now, and that will be the half. We're at halftime here at North High's Urban Field, where Schwabadan leads at 40-14. Stick around for the halftime entertainment, and Chris needs a minute.
Mom, can we get some ice cream?
Please, Mom, please.
No, we're having dinner soon.
Please.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of children in foster care who will take you just...
Kids who play outdoors have healthier lungs.
Totally.
Did you know that boys that play with dolls make better husbands?
My son has lots of dolls. But did you know terry cloth diapers breathe better?
I did.
It's totally true.
Oh, yeah.
Did you guys know statistically friendly kids have more friends?
Yeah.
That's obvious.
Did you know most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right seat. Visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat to make sure you're...
Hey, you.
Yeah, you. Getting that college education, what are you gonna do? Graduate and take some office job? Be like everybody else?
Or will you dare do something different?
Like, be a teacher. You could be my teacher. You got the skills.
The smarts?
Yes, you. You could be the teacher I never forget.
That'd be cool.
Does that corporate job even have recess? What are you gonna make of yourself?
What are you gonna make of me?
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
They say that when you're facing extreme danger, your life flashes before you. If you think that's sad, consider facing it before you even have enough life to flash before your eyes. Deaths and injuries can be prevented by using the right car seat. Visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat to know what is appropriate for each age and size.
You think getting dumped by text is harsh? Try getting dumped by a tennis ball. My ex-owner drove me out to the woods, yelled fetch, and by the time I brought the ball back, he was gone. Yeah, I was pissed. But the folks at the shelter helped me let go of my anger. I learned coping skills, like taking it to the hole. Boom! Now I'm ready to fetch again. But how about I throw and you run and get it?
I love my sister.
My heart doesn't see race.
Love is love.
I dare you. I dare you to change the world. Yeah, you. Getting that college education.
I dare you to be somebody important.
Like be a teacher or a reality TV star.
I dare you to stand up here.
To call the shots.
To be a role model.
An inspiration. An innovator.
To be a teacher.
Think you can change my life?
Make me excited about science like you.
Have a career that really means something?
Then do it.
I dare you.
Hey, look, it's those guys. Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be.
Go and step out of the vehicle for me.
See ya, buddy. Good luck. So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
You're doing great. We're gonna try this again, okay?
Okay.
Wheels, pedals, handlebar, brakes. Sit up straight, keep your weight in the center, keep your eyes on the road, hands on the grips, butt in the seat. If we feel ourselves falling, what do?
Just keep
pedaling. Good girl. Now remember, it's all about balance and steering. Steer with your hands, steer with your body. Steer into the corners and you stay out of trouble. And the bell's your buddy, so go ahead and ding that. All right, you ready? Here we go. Pedal, honey, pedal. There you go, you're a bike rider.
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain.
Hey, I'm Tyler Perry. Do you know what hunger in America looks like? Well, it has many faces, and 16 million of those belong to children. Yet billions of pounds of food go to waste each year, and this is unacceptable. You can be a part of the solution. Join us in supporting the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks, which rescues our surplus foods and provides meals to many families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org today. Together we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
I'm a teacher. Let me tell you what I make. I make learning a privilege, not a chore, and frustration a tool, not an obstacle. I make working hard seem easy and giving up impossible. I make an old subject feel like a fresh thought and unconventional methods common. I'm a teacher. I make more.
Get caught buzz driving, and you could do some hard time.
Craig, knock it off.
Sorry, Mom.
It could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. And that could set you back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. No.
But getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early.
You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
As an American, it's hard to hear that we have a serious hunger issue in our country. And as a parent, it's even harder to hear that 1 in 5 of our kids struggles with hunger, especially when billions of pounds of good food are wasted every year. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide billions of meals to families in need right in your community. Visit feedingamerica.org to support Feeding America and your local food bank. Together we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
So they say it's a man's world? I don't see anybody's name on it.
While they were doing their thing, we slowly changed all that.
Today, women can do anything men can do. And there's one thing we're even better at.
This is the moment I knew his future had no boundaries.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Well, Thomas, you've got prediabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have prediabetes. Big time.
Hey, Gabby, how you doing? How's the play date and sleepover?
Dad, it was great.
Awesome. Okay, I'm on my way. Hey, guys, what are you doing?
We're going swimming. We're going biking. Yeah!
I'll see you in a little bit, guys. I love you.
Hi, babe. How was school today?
Hi, Dad. It was great.
Okay, honey. I'll be home soon. Remember, you're never too far away from your kids to be a dad. Reach out and take a second to check in, because sometimes the smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
Oh, look, a redhead.
Staring contest.
You still got it. I know.
Come alive with the forest.
The dad was cute.
You were looking right at us.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
They're coming. Places, everybody.
Light check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Everything looks good on our end.
And lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Hi, may I please have an application? Thank you.
Skip the drama. Get your diploma.
Okay.
Take that first step towards a better future. Find free adult education classes at finishyourdiploma.org.
I'm Jenny Garth, and as a mother of 3, I know kids worry about a lot of things. Getting enough food to eat shouldn't be one of them. But here in America, that is a real worry for 1 in 5 children. This is unacceptable, and something Feeding America is working to solve. Through a nationwide network of food banks, Feeding America serves virtually every community in the United States, including yours. See how you can help your community. Visit feedingamerica.org. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
You taught him how to hit a baseball, how to hit a receiver, the strike zone, the net. You taught him how to hit the upper corner. You even taught him how to hit the open man. But how much time have you spent teaching him what not to hit?
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat
1 in 5 children struggles with hunger in America. Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Morning, Gary. We are GetSchooled.com. You want a college education, don't you? You know you do. That's why we're here. We're free and here to guide you through every step of the way, starting with attendance. Gary, financial aid forms. Picking a college, man. You and us. We go together like tacos and Tuesday.
And I love tacos. Go to GetSchooled.com.
Na 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 na, I love you so. I love you, I love you. La 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 la, la 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 la.
We're here.
Yay!
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Marie, you have prediabetes.
Prediabetes? I don't have time to eat right or exercise. I'm a busy mom.
Oh, you're a busy mom.
Yeah.
This is great news. Busy moms never get prediabetes.
Wait, what?
Let me just... Yeah, this is all the people at risk for prediabetes, and way over here, busy moms. No?
I love taking care of my mom. It wasn't easy at first. She learned how to better communicate her needs.
And you learned how to not ignore yours.
I discovered how to make healthier meals.
And I discovered how much I enjoyed them.
Becoming a caregiver is a learning experience for everyone. Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. The Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
If you don't fix them, sparks from dragging tow chains could cause a wildfire, and that could be scary.
Hi, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
When you're out there, there's no telling what you'll find.
I see it, I see it! Oh, look at you.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who wants to care of you.
Really? Buzz, what's up, man? You
left some leaves burning out here.
Yeah, I just came in just for a second.
Come on, man. If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. You could torch the whole neighborhood.
It's a good point there, Smokey.
9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Maybe he's really focused.
Hey, Michael. Michael. Maybe he likes spinning the wheels.
Maybe he just loves trucks.
Maybe he's just being a boy.
Preoccupation with objects is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
You've messed up your son's haircut.
Mom?
Do you A, try to fix it,
Like it never happened.
B, work with what you got, or C, show solidarity?
Thank you, baby.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
I guess sometimes things just happen. Devastating things. Your whole world changes in an instant. That's what happened to me the day my mother had a stroke. I'm Paul George, and I want you to spot a stroke fast. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. Protect the ones you love. Spot a stroke fast.
Richard, we're waiting to come back. We're back at North High School. Chris Wright has a Chris Needs a Minute.
A few years back, Hollywood made a movie called Footloose. One of the featured songs in the film was Let's Hear It for the Boy. Well, I'd like to change that title today and let's make it Let's Hear It for the Girls. We have covered plenty of boys' sports this fall without a lot of success. Well, let me tell you, the girls' sports at Sheboygan North High are doing an outstanding job and need to be recognized during this minute. Last spring, Coach Tim Eirich's North girls soccer team, getting no love in their sectional seeding meeting, made it all the way to the state finals and collected a silver ball. This fall, Coach Craig Walters' golf squad finished third in conference, won a regional title, and just the other day finished fifth at sectionals. In the pool, Coach Chad Prissinger's lady swimmers are currently tied for first in conference. How about Chad Cook's volleyball team, currently 25-12, one game out of the conference lead. They lost a heartbreaking fifth set tiebreaker to Manny this week, or else they would be leading the league. And finally, Andrew Bayless's girls tennis team took the conference title, which has been a long time since that's happened, won their sub-sectional and finished second at sectionals to Powerhouse Nina this week. Wow, way to go, Lady Raiders. So boys, get off the couch. Quit playing Fortnite and Madden 18 and hit the weight room. Dedicate yourself to athletics and play more than one sport. Make a commitment and bring success to your sports teams. It can be done. Just ask the lady. And let's, whoa, 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 hear it for the girls.
Awesome, Chris. Very nice. Oh, we even have some stats here for our fans. We talked about the lack of defense by North. Ashwaubenon finished the first half 291 yards, 156 rushing, 135 passing on 10 for 10 passing. Ay, ay, ay. North finished with 153 yards, 98 of that, 123 of that coming in the second quarter. They were 1 for 4 passing for 35 yards and a score to Anderson. Leading rushers were Love Beringer, 61 yards, and Kraus with 51 yards. But defense has got to step it up big time.
Well, Marty, it's 40-14. It's 40-14, and You know, if you think about things, Ashwaubenon comes into this game second worst in first downs in the league with 72, behind Sheboygan, or, you know, Sheboygan South is the worst. And then, you know, they are an palsy, you know, 1453 on offensive, you know, yards this year. That's, you know, just 1,507, and they have almost 300 at halftime. I mean, this is not an offensive juggernaut. In Sheboygan North, we understand, not doing well in the league on defense, but my gosh, got to do a better job on D. Hopefully things will change. We get some scores right away here and maybe some turnovers and get back into this game.
Ball taken at about the 16-yard line and returned out to the 30. I believe that return was made by, might have been 82, but we don't have a number 82 on our program. You know, you talk about the defense. Braden Anderson leads all defenders on North with 37.5 tackles. 34 of those are solos. Carter Bell has 33. I mean, and Everett Stream, we mentioned, you know, they've got some good defenders. They just got to get more of them. Kraus on a keeper slips down behind the line of scrimmage, unfortunately.
Well, let me tell you something. It's Richard, you are earning your keep today because the weather is just rotten up there for you. And I know it's not exactly too cold, but it can be damp. And the rain is just steady stream coming right at them. And again, thanks, Richard, for going up there and surviving for us.
Yeah, he was telling me he's put on his rain slick, and then the water's all going to run down the slick onto his gym shoe-like thing. He's going to have pretty wet feet by the end of the night. Kraus on the handoff was tackled, but he didn't have the ball. Love Beringer picks up maybe a couple of yards at most. It's going to be third down and a long 10, maybe 11.
Wheeler came on the blitz to right through there. He just gets a running start. And Kraus is, even when he doesn't have the ball, takes a beating.
You know, going back to that first half touchdown pass, he was under pressure and really willed it down the field. I mean, that was actually very awesome. He's got good arm strength. And of course, a great reception by Braden Anderson. Kraus slips through, but there was a holding penalty in there.
And Ashwaubenon's going to decline this too. This
yes,
is right in that muddy area, as you can see by that picture by Richard. Or are they going to move him back? Why would they take this? Well, I suppose it's 10 yards. They don't have to get later.
Up, they're going to decline it, Chris.
Okay, they are, yeah.
North just didn't want to have Ashwaubenon hear their plans in the huddle.
Right.
So they went way back there.
Yeah, I don't think that. It's hard to believe, Marty. It's been 2 months since our first ball game already.
I know, boy, and then the weather changed dramatically. You know, the last couple of weeks has been more fall-like, which I know we kind of like. We don't like this rain. It's not so great. Kick is away. And taken by Ashwaubenon, and this kid likes to run around.
Oh.
Another flag comes in. Riley Sadinsky on the return.
We do have a camera guy down there, Marty, now.
Caspian Bing on the field camera. There you go, Caspian. He's bundled up.
Another
Point
penalty.
the camera out at the field, Caspian.
I don't know what's going on.
All right.
Oh, what's going to happen here?
Personal foul against Ashwaubenon.
Personal foul on Ashwaubenon, moves the ball all the way back to the 26-yard line. if the official ever puts the ball down. There you go.
Come on, where is it?
Gideon Vang at quarterback, another whistle. John Maldonado in the backfield with him. We get offside on North.
Gee whiz.
Here we thought it was only going to be on offense, but they can do it either way, offense or defense. Now the ball is spotted on the 31-yard line.
Well, North had the ball, Ashwaubenon had the ball 6 times in the first half. 5 times they scored, and guess what?
Maldonado on the loose.
Yeah, he had a big gain.
Yeah.
What'd you say he had the first half, Marty? 111? 100.
By John Maldonado, tackled by Braden Anderson.
111 yards in the first half.
Another 25 yards to that. And he's virtually getting through the line untouched.
Second worst rushing offense in the league.
Not tonight. Wheeler now in the backfield. Takes the handoff, takes it right up the middle, a little juke move, gets by a defender.
Wow.
Takes it down inside the 30, still not down. Down to the 26. 19 more yards.
Ball carried by Camden Wheeler, taken down by A.J. Forbo.
So 25-yard run, 19-yard run. That would be called gashing the defense.
Every series. Maybe they'll put it on the carpet here. And now they're in the muddy section.
Yep. But not for long. Bang rolling, throwing,
nice play.
Incomplete. Braden Anderson breaking up that pass. And we have an incompletion on Ashwaubenon.
There you go. Nice play by Anderson.
Cutting right in front of the receiver. Knocked the ball away. Second down and 10. Wheeler out on the wing to the right. Maldonado, I believe, is the running back. And Vang fumbles the ball, and it's picked up by North. Getting the recovery for the Golden Raiders was Ryan Heitzman, number 55. Good job.
There you go. Put it on the carpet. Turnover.
North has it in not necessarily real good field position, but at least the Ashwaubenon doesn't have it down there. Inside handoff.
Isaiah Love Behringer carried the
Love
ball.
Behringer stacked up at the 35-yard line, pickup of 1. Well, Chris, I'll say this much for North. They're persistent. North with the pink socks. Preston Schetzer gets hit for a big loss. I think it's going to be inside the 30-yard line. It's going to be about a 6-yard loss. Not that bad, only about a 4-yard loss, but I've got that as his first carry of the ball game, Chris. Official running play.
Well, he tries to, well, he's a quick kid, but he's got to realize, you know what? Other schools got quick kids too. And they've been really good on the perimeter with their speed.
You say something about lateral speed?
You mentioned that before.
I mean sideways. Kraus rolling, looking. Ball's away. He's got his man right through the arms of Braden Anderson. And he knows he should have had it.
And we talk about that wheel route that's been successful. That was it. And guess what? Perfectly thrown.
Yep.
Right through the hands.
And let's give Kraus a little more credit because he was rolling to the right and had a throw back with his left hand and still got it right on the money.
Instead, it'll be punting time. Fourth punt. Fifth punt, excuse me.
Yeah.
Fourth punt.
Krasinski back. He's done a pretty good job for the most part. Had a real bad punt, but that was caused by the very strong rush of Ashwaubenon. Gets that kick away, drives the return man back to the 35. And getting it up to the 45 was the return man, Riley Sudinsky.
Kick returned by Riley Sudinsky. Tackled by Carter.
Riley Sudinsky, pardon me. Riley, sorry for that. It's going to be first down, Ashwaubenon at the 46-yard line. 7:06 left in the third quarter. No scoring. I'll tell you, the first half we had scoring every few minutes, it seemed like, and it slowed down considerably here in the second half. Inside handoff. That running back gets jolted near the line of
Another
scrimmage.
fumble.
Trey Hartner. And he fumbled it, but apparently Ashwaubenon got it back.
Said he was down, Marty.
That's unfortunate. All right, no gain. It's going to be 2nd and 10. Ashwaubenon getting some of their substitutes in. Marty Kiernan now in at running back. Katie and Vang still at quarterback. Handoff. Kieran, he slips by one tackler and he's wide open. He's going to have a first down. I'll tell you, how can you miss a tackle like that?
Thanks.
Carter Bell coming out.
Ball carried by Marty Kiernan. Taken down by Braden Anderson.
Holding on Ashwaubenon. The play is going to come back.
Oh. Carter Bell, you cannot do that. You can't come out of the game and then go back into the game.
If you don't tell anyone.
I guess maybe on a penalty you can. Yeah. I don't think they pay attention.
Don't tell anybody.
Pay attention now. I think he just lost a shoe or something.
We're losing our mind up here in the press box. But we're battling on. New QB, Chris.
Okay, this must
Tyler Johnson, number 8.
Really?
Johnson with a completion.
Tyler Broadhagen.
That's not what I had for their backup. I had
Broadhagen on the catch. Enough for a first down.
one guy who played before.
Johnson back, firing deep. He's got a man open through the hands of the intended receiver. I believe that Ethan Sauer couldn't quite come up with it.
Bell on the coverage, but should have been caught too. But again, the conditions are not the best.
Good coverage too. Did you get the kid who was covering for
Bell?
that? Bell, okay.
Interesting. Vang, one incompletion and out he goes.
Hey, you know, if you're not going to meet the standards, grab some bench. By the way, Hawk Harrelson retired.
Oh, yeah.
77 years old. He
yeah.
called it quits. There was an interesting
heard he
game
was
to
gonna-
watch. That last game, it was on a Sunday. They played the Cubs. Steve Stone, A.J. Przynski was up there for about 3 innings. Man, were there the baseball stories. It was really neat. If you're a baseball guy, you'd love that stuff. Whoa, high snap. Nice catch and kick by Steinke. Ball sails out of bounds. North will get it back with just over 5 minutes left in the third.
We'd like to thank our home game sponsor, Legendary, Four Seasons Comfort, Signature Dental, Drill and True Value Hardware, and tonight's home
33-yard punt.
Not too bad. The best part about that one was the catch off the high snap.
Duke of Devon, all these fine restaurants for a delicious meal and fun with friends.
Carter Bell is the wing to the right. Handoff. Actually, that was to Bell. He gets pushed back.
Isaiah Love Behringer carried the ball.
It was Love Behringer. Having trouble reading those numbers tonight, Chris.
Oh, yeah.
He stopped on the play by Marty Tiernan.
They're playing in the muddy part of the field too much. They should come down to the south end.
See, this is kind of what I thought the game would kind of be like, Marty. Kind of back and forth.
Slugfest, not much scoring.
Yeah. You know, maybe turnovers.
Uh-huh.
I did not, you know, like I said, the 40-14 at halftime was not what I expected.
Crisscross action. Love Behringer. A good head of steam when he took the ball and came close to the first down. Depends on the spot.
That was Schetzer.
Schetzer on a carry.
That was a nice, like you said.
Well, they did get the first down.
Crossbuck action.
Gain 10 yards and they take him out of the game. Crow stuck it under center. Handoff to Love Behringer. Oh, he slips through and he's got a first down at about the 43-yard line. Tucked his head and shoulders at just the right time, Chris, to slip the tackle. Clock rolling. Under 4 minutes. Still 40-14. 40-14, like I said. Pitch back. Well, Behringer hit and dropped after a short gain.
Well, that's that. Oh, that was
Anderson. Oh, that was Anderson.
And again, Marty, that
misdirection.
They just can't seem to have any success on the outside, which they've been doing pretty good on the last few weeks.
The crossbuck action and then kind of taking it off tackle, you know, they've been able to make some yardage off of that, but you're right, trying to go wide against Ashwaubenon has not been very successful. Although Turner Kraus got outside on that rollout.
Well, there's another reason. There's that same play.
Good run that time by Preston Schetzer.
I think another reason it doesn't work outside is that Ashwaubenon, there's no threat for the pass, Marty. So your D-backs are cheating up and assuming that's going to be a run so they can fill those outside lanes or corners, and because they don't have to take steps back, they can always take steps forward most of the time because North throws the ball
so infrequently. Dooley Scheffner out here. Bottom of your screen. Fake handoff, Kraus keeps it, and he gets down inside the 40-yard line.
Once again, too, Marty, as you mentioned before, the offensive line seems to be getting pushes.
They haven't done it consistently, but They are doing it this drive, that's for sure. This is why we buy the water.
It's all right. It's your birthday. And you bought on your birthday. That's not fair.
Hey, it's a night game, remember?
Right.
You buy for the day games?
Oh, a fumble.
Oh, fumble. It's going to be third down and about 4. Make it 5, the loss of a yard on that. You know, if I bought for the night games and you bought for the day games and you made the football schedule, we'd never cover Lakeland. Third down. See what North comes up with here. A little crossbuck action, and Schetzer barrels forward. I think he's got enough for the first down.
Yeah, they're running that play, Marty. And Schwab, oh, that's not a good spot. That's not a good spot.
Oh, that's back. Come on.
They've been running that same play, and it's been working. But now we got 4th and 1. I tell you, Schwabenheim hasn't really stopped them, Marty, so I'm not
You know
really
what this
concerned.
reminds me of Manitowoc last week when North couldn't stop that crossbuck play and they kept going back to it.
Yep.
Let's see what North comes up with here. They got up back and a deep back. They give it to Love Behringer, and he barrels forward for the first down. He's always a good option on short yardage.
Yep. Big back. Yeah. How many times did you say the word "gracious" last week?
Yeah, exactly. Even the radio guys from Manitowoc were trying to figure out how to pronounce his name because he didn't carry the ball that much prior to that game. Yeah. But he was the back of the game last Friday. Kraus backs up, keeps it, slips by a couple of tackles, and lunges forward to about the 30-yard line.
I see turf flying around. And that's it for 3, Marty.
That's the end of
Taking care of a family member can lead to plenty of questions. Fortunately, there's a place to get the answers, for them and for you. Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. The Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
Okay, so we drowned the fire, stirred it, drowned it again, and now just feel if it's cold.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
I know. I already posted it.
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
All righty, starting 4th quarter action. And a good push by the Raiders.
So what'd you say for yardage for each team?
52 yards for both.
For both?
Yes.
Exactly the same.
Exactly the same.
And again, as
remember, that's unofficial, but
I mentioned it before, I thought that's kind of sort of what we were going to get tonight. With the weather conditions, the offenses being what they are. I did not expect 40 points by Schwabenheim and 14 by North. Now in the second half, we have none.
Side handoff again.
starts digging in.
Now they're going to run. I bet you they run that cross buck thing here. Nope. Schutzer's on the side, so I guess not.
I kind of can, but. All right, there we go.
It's second down and about 8. Jaguars trying to mount some kind of a defensive effort. They have not looked real good on this drive. North has gotten a great push from their offensive line. Schetzer and Love Behringer are running the ball hard.
Oh, boy.
And timeout by North. Their first timeout of the second half. Our next ball game, matter of fact, our last game of the football season is next Saturday when Lakeland College hosts Lakeland University hosts Rockford University. And that'll wrap up WSCS's football season. And then sometime in late November, early December, we will start up with our basketball schedule. And the way it looks, we'll be covering North and South, Lutheran and Christian, UWS, and we usually slide in a Lakeland game or two, try to get out there. So a lot of basketball action for us coming up. So you want to look for that.
Well, it's a long winter, Marty, and basketball cover that.
It is a long winter.
I know Lutheran's looking for a chance to win a boys conference championship. Them and Howard should be up there.
Right, yeah, that'd be a good contest to cover. Inside handoff to Love Behringer. He barrels forward. Picks up a nice gain. It's going to be third down and about 2.
Of course, Brent Witter comes back for North, all-conference player.
He's pretty good. Big third down play for the Raiders. You got to know, Chris, if they don't get it, they're going to be going for it on fourth down. They went up the middle last time on a 3rd and short. Let's see what they do here. Kraus fakes it to Love Behringer, keeps it, sidesteps a tackler, and takes it in. What a move. Turner Kraus. 13-yard run for a touchdown. First score of the second half.
That drive took 6 minutes and 59 seconds.
Ooh, that was a nice one.
Yep.
Everything on the ground. Strong kick is through, is no good. Off to the right. That makes it 40-20 with just over 10 minutes left in the ball game.
Winning the half, but
right,
not winning the battle. Another person we should mention in basketball is, of course, Josh Govic over at South, coming back from that injury.
Yes, you're right. Want him to be healthy and ready to go. New coach over there too, Mr. Shaw.
Yep. That'll be interesting.
He has some good bloodlines when it comes to basketball coaching. What do we know about Christian? Other than Brett Flipsy is back as coach.
Yeah,
I think he's the longest tenured coach in their conference.
Well, and in the area too, you know.
Hey, have you had a chance to run over to the Field of Dreams and check out the turf?
I haven't been onto the field, but I monitored, watched it.
Okay. I was over there the other day. John Kohler was there, and we spoke, and very interesting how it all came down and what they're doing. And then Judy Strauss stopped over.
Oh, really?
To check out the scoreboard. There's the Hummich family.
I know Artie
that supported
Klein's family, after his passing, has some money in there as well. I know Barb put some of that from when Artie passed away, so.
You know what I've gotten from several people? Marty, wouldn't it have been smarter to put that turf in down at Wildwood? Well, you know why they didn't. Because that money was given from Aurora to the school district, and Field of Dreams is school district property.
There you
The
go.
Wildwood is city property, so that's why that didn't happen that way. Hopefully those lights will go up this winter and be ready for next spring and summer. That's been a long time in the making.
A long process there too. Need a turnover, boys. Need a turnover. Down 3 scores, and we're just under 10 minutes.
Dawson Dembrowski on the carry.
Ball carried by Dawson Dembrowski.
He picks up 4 yards.
Schwabenau not in a hurry with a 3-score lead.
A lot of white jerseys for the Jags.
Get some new kids in there. Yeah, that's great.
Johnson still at quarterback.
That's the way it should be.
Preston Anderson trying to figure out where to go. Yeah, I'll stand over here. A flag down right away. On the carry was Marty Kiernan. I got a feeling this play is coming back.
Yeah, motion. You know, I know the Jags, if it does get a little closer, they can always come back. But again, this is the way it should be done. You're up by
a bunch,
20, and we're at 9-14. You don't have to wait to the last 2 minutes to put in your subs. You're up by 3 scores. Don't have to put that extra to, so very classy by Coach Mark Jonas over at Schwabenau. Get those kids in the game. They practice too.
Oh yeah, for sure. You're right. Want to keep it fun, and it's not so much fun to sit on the sideline when your team has blown somebody out. Hand off to Kiernan again. And slipped by a couple of tacklers, but not numbers 3 and 4. On the stop for North was Carter Tross.
More new guys coming in here. Third and 10.
Clock running. Checking in the slot position is Nate Lemire.
I'd be shocked if they put it up, but they're gonna.
Johnson being flushed from the pocket, and North sacks him back at the 35-yard line. Loss of 5 for Johnson. Good pressure that time by the Raiders.
Well, good decision too to tuck that under. Bang's just a sophomore, so you know he'll be back, but Johnson's a junior. No sense throwing that up there. And
hey, look who's back to return the punt. We'll get some action now. Quentin Shea back there.
7:47 and counting.
What's the name of a plane?
It is.
Snap, and the kick is away. Oh, backs away. Takes a tremendous bounce for Ashwaubenon, and North is going to get it deep in their own territory.
They came to me.
Yeah.
51 yards.
Wow, that was a dandy. Good 20 of that was on the roll. Well, 15 to 20. North has it, 1st and 10 on the 14-yard line.
That seems to be a perpetual.
A mile away from the end zone, Marty.
Yes. Time is an issue. Inside handoff. Love Behringer on the carry.
Their last drive, as I said before, went 6 minutes and 59 seconds. Now did come up with a TD, but I don't know. You gotta be a little quicker.
Right. Wasting a lot of time in the huddle. Second down for the Raiders. Inside handoff again. That one off tackle. Not much going there. Another 3 or 4 yards. It's going to be third down and about 3.
Let's hope they do.
Evan Spaulding looked like he was warming up on the sideline, Chris, number 17. He's a sophomore quarterback.
Basically just a little bit heavy on my shoulder. Or like this.
Inside handoff. I think Norris got the first down. Well, Behringer on the carry again, and it's a first down. For them?
Yeah.
Chris is showing me the Ashwaubenon coaching staff, and one of the coaches listed is Sheboygan's own Bill Schrader. And there were a couple of Schraders on their roster. I wonder if that's his sons. Kraus going deep, and it's intercepted. No, it's dropped. Almost making the catch was Caden Appleton, but slippery ball slipped out of his hands. They must have been listening to you, Chris. Need to speed it up a little bit. Bill Schrader, of course, former South athlete, played at UW Lacrosse, and was an excellent wide receiver for the Green Bay Packers.
Excellent track athlete.
Track athlete, almost. If he would have dedicated himself instead of maybe to the Packers, he could have been a decathlete in the Olympics. He was a good one.
And that's another thing he did well is he was in the long distance driving competitions.
Right. He hit it over 400 yards.
I mean, he just. It's weird. I remember Bill playing over at South. Of course, that's when it was still light out. Saturday afternoons when they played.
He was their emergency quarterback. You know, the
Coach
Favre
Brookins?
and the other. No.
With the Packers.
He was the quarterback for South, I believe, but for the Packers. Handoff, Love Behringer breaking loose. He's got some room to run. He gets around the corner. He's at the 40, 30, 20, 10. Touchdown! $73 yards.
That'll add to his total.
Yes, that'll add to his total big time.
And North is within 14. Here you see it. Finally, something on the outside, but a great block there.
He's got great speed.
By Scheffner, that really helped that work.
He's got around 180 yards, Chris, rushing. That extra point was good. It's now 40-27 with 4:45 remaining. North has scored the last 3 times. Let's see, 70, 68.
I'll tell you, the boys
It wasn't 78 yards. It should have been maybe.
I thought you was 73.
73.
Did you say it was on the 27?
Yeah, I think so. 73 yards. who's going to quibble over 5 yards? We'll give it 73 on a run. Probably the most impressive thing, Chris, was his breakaway speed once he got out in front.
Junior.
That's nice. Schetzer's a junior too.
Kraus a junior.
Kraus.
Well, anticipating some type of onside. They're going to give it another shot. And it's those.
Oh, fumble.
Come on, get the ball.
Scramble
They
for
do.
the ball. North says they have it. And they do. Coming up with it for Sheboygan North was Zane Tinkle. North ball on the 46.
Here you'll see it again. Like I said, it's sloppy out there, even though they anticipated it. You still got to make the play.
Oop.
Well, North has 2 timeouts.
Yeah, still a lot of clean jerseys on the defensive side, Chris. Anderson a wing to the right. Bell the wing to the left. Hand off to Love Behringer. And there's a fumble. North comes up with it. I think it was Anderson recovered it. Hang on to the ball, boys.
Now they're up to the line quicker this time, Marty.
Yeah, Schetzer is the deep back, I believe, Chris. Love Behringer stepped off. Hand off to Preston Schetzer. He was the first back, and he gets stacked up right at the line of scrimmage.
Oh, boy.
Stop carry by Preston Schetzer. Stop by James Murdoch.
Clock running under 4 minutes.
There's no doubt they're going to have 2 shots at it here. Schwabenheim going to drop back, it looks like. Oh.
Preston Schetzer off right tackle, and he gets maybe a yard, and they're not making any progress, Chris. The only progress they're making is running out the clock. Now it's a timeout for North.
And they call timeout, which basically means you score on this. You can't. You're not gonna have anything left.
According to the scoreboard at Urban Field, North has 1 timeout remaining.
Mom, can we get some ice cream?
Please, Mom, please.
No, we're having dinner soon.
Please.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of children in foster care who will take you just.
Back at North High School's Urban Field, where it's 4th and about a short 7, or long 7, short 8. Kraus rolling, throwing deep, looking for Anderson, and overshot him.
I would have liked that on 3rd.
Went for the downs, but couldn't connect on the pass. And the Jaguars take over in good field position. Up to the defense again, Chris.
Who's in at quarterback, Marty?
Johnson, number 8. Nope, number 16.
Of course.
Caden Vang. Maldonado on the carry.
Oh, yeah.
Back to the horses.
Yep.
North got a little too close. I don't blame him. I'd bring him back in too.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
just secure. But I give Ashwaubenon credit for putting those
getting
kids
those
out.
guys in there, right?
Yep.
I agree with
And
you.
then off to the score, then we'll just make sure.
Second down. Now Johnson's back in the backfield. Or no, that would be Wheeler. Wheeler takes the handoff and plows forward for about 5.
Well, North got the ball back, and they ran 3 plays, got 3 yards, and they throw it, and wing it down the field, and
You
nothing.
mentioned it earlier. One of the things that North is they're quite predictable. I mean, you know, you got to open it up a little bit more than that.
There's no screens. They don't use their tight end at all. And Ben Vorpal's a great athlete. I know he goes out for patterns occasionally, but he never gets or sees the ball. You know, it is what it is. You know.
Maldonado bouncing it to the outside, and he's got enough for the first down before he goes out of bounds.
And it's okay, you know, if you're in a smash mouth game, you know, like we thought would happen. But once you got behind, you know, like I said, they had that 6-minute, 59-second drive, which is great. But when you're down 40-14, it just takes a long time.
Right. Under 2 minutes now in the ball game. Referee winds it back into play. Handoff Maldonado. Bouncing and is not going anywhere. North gets him.
John Maldonado carried the ball.
Stop was made by A.J. Vogel.
There you'll see it. Not much, but it's...
Stood him up in the hole and pushed him back.
Yep, good effort. It's just... you pitched a shutout in the second half, North. Played
Luke
much
Schrader
better.
is the slot on the right side, Chris, and he's kind of tall and lanky, just like his old man. They're letting the clock run down. Hand off. Wheeler right through the middle. He's going to go plowed through the middle of the line and goes 44 yards for a touchdown. Oh, boy. Jeez. Hate that to happen. And there goes the second half shutout, Chris.
Because I just said something.
Yeah. Thanks. You are a killjoy.
Well, a couple minutes ago, they had the ball on the onside, a chance to score, and just like that, 3 minutes later.
Oop, a roller. They're not going to get it.
They've struggled with that part of their game.
Right.
Sheboygan with a win will make the playoffs and get one of those 4 seeds and face a power. and I don't think it'll be pretty.
Yeah, and that goes back to one of the things I mentioned in the first Marty Needs a Minute is expanded playoff format. And you wind up getting teams seeded that really are not very good football teams playing against some squads that are quite good. And it becomes a dangerous situation.
Yep. Yep. I'm not... I don't know what the answer there is. I mean, can't include everybody because then it would really be ugly. And then...
Let's have another division or 2.
Yeah, there's 7 divisions. That's too many, and that's another issue. But yeah, those. I don't ever recall a number 1 seed losing to a 4 seed, unless it was maybe a Milwaukee City Conference team that was a 1 seed, where they would. They don't play the same competition.
Pick it up, come on.
I
think at Ashwaubenon has it again, Chris.
This would be interesting. Then they can take a knee. What are we just? They're fighting down there.
North has
ball.
it.
Oh, that would not have been good.
Who did Virginia lose to last year in the NCAA tournament?
Oh, yeah.
15 seed.
16 beat the #1 overall seed.
Yeah, 16 beat the #1 overall seed. Unprecedented.
Yep. And the #1 overall seed at that, not even just a #1 in there.
Right, exactly, in their region.
Yep, that's crazy.
Cross
There's
rolling.
a nice play.
Yep, had his receiver open. But, oh, that would have been fun. Quentin Shea catches one out that in space.
Now, that was a nice play. I like that play. I mean, that's a nice pass pattern. You know, again, maybe on the previous drive, something like that would have been what you wanted there. That was all set up well, just a little overthrown.
North is going to move to 0-8 on the season. Ashwaubenon will move to 4-4. They will play Sheboygan South next week. Kraus rolling,
another good
looking
play.
over the middle, but not even close to Dooley Scheffner. And North plays Green Bay Southwest right here in Sheboygan, Chris. According to the WIS Sports website. Do you have them playing someone else? Or didn't you know?
We had South and Southwest, correct?
Yes. Yes. And like we mentioned earlier, WSCS TV Sports will be out at Lakeland next Saturday when they host Rockford University.
That sounds like something.
And in an effort to get things wrapped up after this game is over, we want to give our regards to the crew tonight, especially Richard Bartson taking that top spot in the elements. Wheel route, Anderson couldn't quite catch up to it. Preston Schetzer actually was the intended receiver. That actually wasn't too bad of a pass. Chris put a lot of air under it. Let the receiver try to run under it, but just too far.
And a happy birthday to you, Marty.
Thank you very much, Chris. I appreciate that.
Got to spend your Friday with us.
Appreciate my wife bringing over the balloons and the Snickers. You can have one, by the way. But then I'm not buying sodas next week.
You can keep it. Oh, it's a day game. I got to get my cheeseburgers next week. Nobody back.
It gets a good bounce. Goes out of bounds right around the 50-yard line.
The officials were hoping for a 37-second roll.
There you go. Hey, I got a question for you. North goes for it on 4th down there. They don't get it. Ball goes over to Ashwaubenon. Do you kneel or try to score?
Kneel.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I would.
That's and
Kneel.
a coach on the sideline, I'd say, let's just go for it on 4th down. Who cares? Because I think they're going to kneel down anyway, you know, and kind of have it both ways. Depending, you know, hoping that Coach Jonas is going to be a good sport about it all. They're going to come out winging it.
What's going on here?
It's called Let's Stand in the Rain Some More. Ooh. Wow. Coach is not going to like that very much. Crew today, Robert Ingram was our director. Richard Bartson, like we mentioned, running camera 1 up in the elements on top the score box. Caspian Bing has been trying to figure out how to run the field camera. Never did get that figured out, but he'll learn. So there's time. He's a senior at South. And then for my partner Chris Wright, our color man tonight, I'm Mike Martin saying thanks for watching. Kneel down. That should be the last play. Robert Ingram, our director, giving us a lot of fine replays tonight. We appreciate that. A timeout. Really? Well, no timeout. They're letting it run down. People running off the field. Gonna shake hands. Now she's over officially. All right, one more time. Sheboygan North came up with the short end against the Ashwaubenon Jaguars by a score of 46-27. For the crew and my partner Chris Wright, I'm Mike Martin saying thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you down the road.